The Rams take care of business against the Commanders.
Yes.
Cooper Kupp catches all 8 of his targets for 111 yards and a touchdown. I mean, no surprise here. Now here,
where's Cooper Kupp? Whoa! There he is.
It's like practice against air.
I mean, I don't think I could be an NFL quarterback.
You couldn't have caught that. It was a little out in
No,
front of him.
no. But I think I could have hit him in stride with this one.
you would have been open.
You can't hit the proper shot from 3 meters away.
Yeah. But but the proper shot doesn't move. Let's look at these next-gen stats right here. Kupp had 17 yards of separation from the nearest defender, the second most separation on a completion of over 50 yards of air distance in the next-gen stats era since 2016. Completion probability 73.6%. That's powered by AWS Cloud.
Completion probability's got to be 100%.
And I retweeted something. Can we go back, Steven? Show that play again. So this is we're watching the dots, the AWS, the next-gen stats dots. But I want to show you the plays again, and I'm going to ask you to slow it down when we get to the play. I want to show this.
Good luck.
Wait, hang on. All right, watch this. Stop right here, if you can. All right. Well, you weren't able to. It doesn't matter. But if you watch the sidelines of it, right? If you go down, you go close right here. If you see at the bottom of your screen, there's Emmanuel Forbes. You see there on the side of the sideline. Ron Rivera's first-round pick of Emmanuel Forbes, who couldn't get on the field, is just sitting there watching blown coverage
pointing
against.
There he is.
Hey,
well, that's
there
what it's
he
like
is.
when he's on the field. So
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Different.
He was
boy.
but I'm just like, that's the epitome of the Commanders' offense. Guy I follow on Twitter, Chad Ryan, pointed that out. Does a great job. He is critical as well as I am of the organization. I mean, like, that play is just the microcosm of how bad the team is, how bad they've been over the last 4 years. Just a complete failure of preparation, of skilled players, of drafting. Like, I mean, Forbes is Forbes the biggest first-round bust? Real talk for a second. Is Forbes the biggest first-round bust? It's too early to tell of this draft.
He's the front runner. Yeah, he's the front runner. Because some guys haven't gotten to play a lot because they were drafted as developmental picks and they've only flashed.
Tyree Wilson's been pretty bad.
He has. He came in with a foot injury.
Yeah, that's fair.
It was going to take a while to come. He missed all the OTAs, and Forbes was healthy and he can't play right now. I hope it changes for him, but you can't put him on the field in any capacity.
Right.
All. Not even in like a limited role, not as a dime corner. Like, there's nothing you could really do with him.
I saw people comparing that play to the play where McCaffrey falls over and is still able to run in the touchdown.
Yeah.
But that's different because like Purdy evaded pressure. That was a broken play where McCaffrey got out. This one was just like snap the ball wide open.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp goes in motion, and they're just like,
Nobody follows.
yeah, we're just like, somebody else will get him, right? Somebody else will get him. Like, honestly, the Commanders' defense is like my kids at home who just like leave empty cereal bowls and clothes all over the place. So somebody else will get that.
They freelance.
Somebody else will pick it up.
Yeah.
There you go. And it annoys me. But in fairness, they're 12.
Yeah.
They're not highly paid professionals, and they're not facing Cooper Kupp, who's one of the best wide receivers in football. Like, that play is just like everything about the Commanders. Yep. And I don't know, did you see Rivera's reaction on the sideline? Oh, no. Can I get a solo of this? This was Ron's reaction, which I loved. It was just like this.
That's not a bad Ron Rivera. It's good because there's no voice accompanying it, which would have probably.
He doesn't speak.
Yeah.
He doesn't move. He doesn't change facial expressions. He's just sort of like, what just happened?
Yeah.
He knows it's over. It's tough.
It's like when they got eliminated from the playoffs last year and didn't realize. Yeah.
He said some version of, I mean, I don't know if this was a made-up quote or not. I saw this on Twitter. I don't know if this was an actual quote or not.
But to him anyway.
But there's somebody put out there that Ron said something like about Jacoby Brissett. If I'd known he was that good, I would have started him sooner. That can't be true.
No,
that can't possibly be true.
You definitely got whatever we call it these days.
Would fit
Catfish?
with the Ron aesthetic, though. But
It would be.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's true or not. I'm sure it isn't.
It's definitely not. It's 500 to 1 to be true.
It's not 100% out of the realm of possibility that he said it. I'm just saying.
Boy, poor Sam
Wow.
Howell.
Yeah, poor Sam Howell.
I mean,
it's like Tepper saying, blame me for not drafting C.J. Stroud. That decision's on me. Bryce Young's still your quarterback,
Yes,
man.
he's going to be your
boy.
quarterback for at least another year or two.
Rivera did say that Howell, speaking of that, I don't know what there is to say about the Rams other than, listen, big day at the office, obviously, for Cooper Kupp. It was Kyron Williams had a huge day. Yeah. Stafford delivered the way he did. Not a huge game for Puka Nacua, but again, just Commanders couldn't keep it competitive. The game was more of a blowout than the score indicates. They scored twice quickly when Howell was replaced by Jacoby Brissett. Brissett looked great. A couple of dimes to Terry McLaurin. I am, as a Commanders fan, I am very glad that Jacoby Brissett did not see his first action of the year until this, because this is exactly what I thought was going to happen, which is that Jacoby Brissett is good.
Yeah, right.
And I didn't want him to be good.
Jets would be in the playoffs.
Right. Oh, Jets would 100% be in the playoffs with Jacoby Brissett.
Browns might win the Super Bowl.
Right, Browns would win the Super Bowl.
8 of 10, 124 yards and 2 touchdowns after replacing Sam Howell in the fourth quarter. He just threw a couple of dimes to Terry McLaurin, looked absolutely great. And by the way, but you don't want that. No. Jacoby Brissett's not your quarterback of the future. What happened with it, I'll give Ron Rivera credit on this. What happened with the Commanders this year is what should have happened, which is you got to play Howell all year long and see what you have. And either you find out you've got a franchise quarterback or you're bad enough and you have a shot to pick one early next year. And I think both things are true. I actually think Howell can play in the NFL. I think, all jokes aside, I think Howell proved he can play in the NFL.
Sure.
Is he a franchise quarterback? Is he a Josh Allen? Is he a guy that can, a Joe Burrow? I don't know about that. But do I think he has Kirk Cousins level potential? I do.
That'd be great.
You know what I mean? I think he's got Derek Carr upside.
I'd rather have Sam Howell or Bryce Young starting your team tomorrow. Honestly,
we've seen more from Howell this year. There's no
Howell's
denying
been
it.
significantly
There's no
better.
denying it.
Yeah.
And I say this every show we talk about Howell in this light. He once upon a time was a projected first-round pick. This isn't like the Jake Browning story, right? Like that's not what this is. This guy has talent.
Yeah, he's got all the tools.
Yeah,
And
his draft fall was just bizarre. It was an overcorrection.
Yeah, and listen, I mean, it's his third different offense coordinator in 3 years, going back to North Carolina as well. He's had a bad offensive line and inconsistency. But what I will say is, here's what I'll say. They've already said Howell's going to start next week against the Jets. This is interesting. I'm in our show league playoff.
Yeah.
It looks like I'm going to have to play Penn State Blake,
Showdown.
He's got McCaffrey and Brock
scary.
Purdy.
Yeah.
This is
He's
very.
got a good team.
stack.
I found out the hard way.
Yeah, he took care of you.
yeah.
You were like second place much of the year.
Yep.
I was sixth, and I destroyed backup producer Pete. Absolutely housed him.
Pete didn't
add him to the hoof list
Pete
with
did
Dak
not get off-
Prescott and the Cowboys.
Pete did not get off the bus. I don't think he made it to 100
didn't.
points.
No. Well, he had Bijan. He had
Yeah,
Zach
this
Wilson as his starting quarterback. in
Trubisky.
his super flex.
It's so brutal. But
very
anyway,
good
the reason I bring this up is so for all year long, it's again our league's a super flex. I've been riding Jalen Hurts and Sam Howell.
Yeah.
And next week I'm against Penn State Blake. And so here's my options. I've got Hurts, I've got Howell, I've got Joe Flacco.
I think
I'm thinking
Flacco.
I'm starting Flacco. I mean, at the moment I'm like
defense.
Howell versus the Jets or Flacco versus I forget who they play,
Texans.
but the Texans. Yeah.
Yeah,
Not-
it's Flacco. I'm sitting Howell in a super flex playoff next week for Gardner Minshew.
I don't know. I mean, again, we don't know what's going to happen with Brian Robinson, but I don't feel good about any of these guys against the Jets.
Yep.
Coming up next, and so whatever. It's a disaster of a season for but glad that McLaurin was able to bail out
game for
fantasy managers. By the way, and had an unbelievable one-handed catch that didn't count. But if you see the replay, like he's getting the other hand is unavailable. He had to catch with one
Funny
hand,
how that
but
works.
they didn't call it. Whatever. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotorWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.